Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Ramza bin Alam. Today I will present about our project introduction. We are from section 3. Our lecturer name is Professor Madya T.S. Dr. Aziman bin Madun. So this is our group 11 member. Firstly is Brian Kalang Anak Simar, and then Muhammad Nusharin bin Asab, and then Muhammad Zarul Zikri bin Jeffrey, and then myself Ramza bin Alam, and the last one is Ricky Chow. So for introduction for our project is engineering geology is one of the required subject for student pursuing civil engineering course at University Tunus in Malaysia. To fulfill the mark for geology project at UTSM, student must go to the field and conduct an investigation about this subject based on the type of rock, the classification of rock, the rock mass rating. So the goal for this project is to study and observe the geological structure while collecting data on deep direction, deep angle, and slope angle during a site visit. The site visit is took place in Pahang at Sungai Lembing, Teluk Cempedak, Sungai Lembing Museum, and Sungai Pandan Waterfall. And then the student were asked to collect data on slope, angle, deep direction, and deep angle from the site visit in order to analyze the geological structure that exists in that area. So this will also provide students with opportunities to learn about the rock formation and classification. For the first day, we go to Sungai Pandan Waterfall to obtain the data of the deep direction and deep angle. After that, we go to Bukit Panorama Hills. So we discover the sedimentary rock, especially shale at Bukit Panorama, and then we visit the Museum Sungai Lembing and the Sungai Lembing. So we were given quizzes by the lecturer at the Sungai Lembing Museum, and then we go to the riverbank of Sungai Lembing, and then lastly we go to Teluk Cempedak, and then we need to obtain the data of the deep direction and deep angle and the stripe of the rock at the beach. That's all for the introduction.
My name is Kechong. I am from group number 11. So I'm a part of the present about the objective, methodology, and Bukit Panorama. So the first one is our objective. Basically, our group have three objectives, which is to observe the type of rock and mineral of the study area. The second one is identify geological structure, the study area process. And the last one is obtain wider view and information regarding the rock type and occurrence in geological.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Zarul Zikri bin Jeffrey. My matrix number is CF200115, and I'm from group 11, which is my part is literature review. This project describes a few of the most popular field testing techniques for identifying essential geotechnical properties required to classify soils and rocks using engineering language and provide engineering design values, which is we are using engineering geology. Field testing and geophysical surveying to a lesser extent are significant source of qualitative and quantitative data on ground condition. Field testing is a crucial component of many site studies, even though it is practically more expensive than sampling and laboratory testing. There are so many reasons for this, but the most important is that it provides design parameters that, in contrast to laboratory testing, reflect a more realistic evaluation of geotechnical ground condition. Laboratory testing samples may not accurately represent the ground from whence they were gathered due to their small size. These might not have significant large-scale discrepancies in the rock or soil bulk that would affect the material suitability for engineering purposes.
This methodology, basically our group is applying the studies, which is studies from lab number 1, which is classifying the type of rock, and lab number 4, rock slope. Basically in rock slope, we find the deep direction and the deep angle in air terjun Sungai Padang.
Hello and good day. My name is Brian Kalang Sima, metric number CF20001 from group 11. Now I'm going to present half of the methodology. So for this, the types of method used while going for the camp geology. The first one is discontinuities Burton geological compass. So it is used to determine the deep angle and the deep direction of the surface, known as foliations, and the plunge direction of the lines. The second one is Smith hammer test. So this one is used to evaluate the elastic properties of rocks and concrete, specifically their surface of hardness and penetration resistance. The third one is rock mass rating. So for the rock mass rating, it is divided into a number of structural areas. When the rock mass rating classification system is applied, which the region is being classified separately. So the fourth method is point load test. So point load test is used to evaluate rock material strength, the strength of the rock materials. So the fifth and the last method is slag durability test. So this is used to evaluate the weathering resistance of shells, mudstones, siltstones, and other clay-bearing rocks.
Next is we'll continue for air terjun Sungai Pandan. This is our first stop at the field trip was air terjun Sungai Pandan in Kuantan Pahang. This waterfall, which is also known as Punching Waterfall, is located into a forest past a small settlement and army bases and quarry. Sungai Pandan Waterfall, regarded as Malaysia's most stunning waterfall, is well liked picnic and recreation spot for the Kuantan local population. And then we'll continue, which is the majority of the rocks in air terjun Sungai Pandan were igneous rock like granite and basalt. Extrusive and intrusive igneous rocks are the two types of igneous rocks, which is volcanic and coarse grained anetritic. So this is the samples we have taken from air terjun Sungai Pandan. So we were instructed to complete 30 sets of discontinuity, point load, and rebound test hammer in each group. In addition, we discovered some geological structure at two joints and fracture in the rocks to determine the deep angle and deep direction and strike of the rocks. Then we have calculated the discontinuity at the junction. So this is a discontinuity of rock at air terjun Sungai Pandan, which is data of discontinuity of rock are collected at air terjun Sungai Pandan. The deep direction and deep angle are recorded using Brunton compass. The data collected are used to determine the number of set and mode of failure. So the left side is the deep, there is how to take a deep direction, and the right side is how to take a deep angle direction.
Then the next one
Yes, okay.
is Bukit Panorama. So basically in Bukit Panorama, the objective is to learn about the different type of rock. So the first one, we do the activities. We start hike to Bukit Panorama at 7 a.m. and followed by the lecturer, which is Dr. Fidaus. And the second one is lecture. The Dr. Fidaus lecture about the type of rock available on Bukit Panorama. And the third one is the type of rock that have in Bukit Panorama, which is sedimentary rock. And this is the list of rock that Bukit Panorama have, which is shell, sand, and shale. Okay, last but not least is weathering. Our main objective in these activities is to learn about the process involved in formation of sedimentary rock. What is weathering? Weathering is a task, a chemical and mechanical process that break up rocks, such as interaction between rock exposed at the Earth's surface and element in the atmosphere. And the last one is type of weathering happen in Bukit Panorama basically have two, which is physically and chemically. So the biggest one is chemically.
Hi, I'm Muhammad Nur Shahrin bin Azhar, metric number CF20020 and I will be presenting about the trip at Sungai Lembing, Pahang. So basically we went to Sungai Lembing River at our second day of trip, where we were given a task to classify each of different type of rock, which are metamorphic rock, sedimentary rock and igneous rock. And I will explain a little bit about these three types of rock, which is igneous rock are crystalline in nature that are derived from the cooling of molten magma or lava from volcanic eruption that occur for a long period of time beneath the surface of Earth. For sedimentary rock, it is formed from the constituents of rock from the mountainous area, which are transported to lower elevation. And lastly, for metamorphic rocks, it is a process of changes in texture from the existing rocks. And this table below is all type of rock that we managed to get from the Sungai Lembing River, which is for igneous rock, we have granite. For sedimentary rock, we have shale and sandstone. And for metamorphic rock, we managed to collect marble and slate. And lastly, we also managed to get minerals around that Sungai Lembing River area, which is we have quartz.
And now I'm going to represent the project, what we do in Telok Cempedak and what we have acquired in Telok Cempedak. So the first thing we saw in Telok Cempedak is there are two types of rocks in Telok Cempedak. So the first rock is granite and the second rock is basalt. Okay, the task that is been given for us to do in Telok Cempedak is there are two tasks that are given. The first task is getting the dip direction and dip angle of discontinuities in Telok Cempedak. We need to acquire at least 30 data for the discontinuities. So the second task is identify the weathering type that happened on the rocks of Telok Cempedak. Okay, now this is the data that we've acquired for the dip direction and dip angle. So we also did also for the hammer test, the Smith hammer test. So as you can see, this is table and the data. For dip direction, it is number one. It is dip direction is 4, dip angle is 33. Number two, the dip direction is 336, dip the angle is 22. Number 3, the dip direction is 56 and the dip angle is 29, and so on until the data reaches 30. As for the Smith rebound hammer test, there are 9 data that we collected for the composite strength readings. So number 1 is 15, number 2 is 45, number 3 is 59, number 4 is 16, number 5 is 33, number 6 is 20, number 7 is 14, number 8 is 26, and number 9 is 29. So this is the second task for the weathering that has been applied on the rocks. So there are two types of weathering. The first weathering is the chemical weathering, physical weathering, sorry, mechanical. So the first one is the frost action. Number 2, organic activities. Number 3, alternate heating and cooling. Number 4, unloading. And number 5, saline crystal growth. Okay, the second weathering is that it is chemical weathering. So there are 4 that we have acquired. That is, first, dissolution, second, hydration, third, oxidation, and the last one is hydrolysis.
In conclusion, all of our members received lots and tons of precious knowledge and memories from these 3 days and 2 nights of Sungai Lembing geology trip. This trip is not just only exploring more about type of rocks such as igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock, but it also further learning about the skills of using Brunton compass and Smith rebound hammer. All members also got the chance to measure the dip angle and dip direction of the discontinuity sets by using Brunton compass at Sungai Pandan Waterfall and Teluk Cempedak Beach, where at Teluk Cempedak Beach and Panorama Hills, students also got the opportunity to explore more about the weathering effect on the rock, such as basalt and granite. Students also learn how to determine the joints and the faults that occur on the surface of the rocks due to weathering effect at the Teluk Cempedak Beach. So basically from this trip we also managed to learn and to be more cooperative between our team member, as this is needed in order to finish our task smoothly.